What up, word? Is your boy Sporty back checking in. Shout out to all my Georgia fans. So, for a lot of folks who've been following me, I've always posted about Georgia, you know what I'm saying, my content. I be trying to have a separate page for it, but it just never work out. So I'm just like, so the people that be here for the Georgia content, just here, you know what I'm saying? And if you're not, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, this video is about my top 10 UGA quarterbacks of all time. This kind of like a special request video. One of my little partners, he was like, man, you need to do a video about the top 10 quarterbacks in UGA history, you know what I'm saying? Because we had a debate or whatever. So anyway, this is my list, There's been a lot of quarterbacks come through Georgia. I've seen most of them. I've been watching Georgia for a very long time. But for number 10, I got that boy Jake Fromm, Houston County finest, SEC champion, Rose Bowl champion, came in as a freshman. When Jacob Eason went down, I felt like he played big. His first career start was on the road in Notre Dame. That was one of the biggest wins in UGA history, especially for Kirby Smart, and to build upon the trajectory, that he did after that win. I think that was one of a staple win for Georgia. And that whole year, that 2017 team that Jake Fromm was the quarterback on, that team right there really laid the blueprint and the foundation that the Georgia program is built upon now. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the standard or whatever. But Jake Fromm comes in at number 10. And speaking of UGA quarterback, while we on Jake Fromm, we might well get the elephant out the room. Because the next year that Jake Fromm was there, that's when Justin Fields came in. And honestly, my opinion and a lot of other Georgia fans' opinion, Justin Fields was a better quarterback than Jake Fromm. Probably wasn't ready at the time, but it was kind of contradictory from Kirby Smart perspective, because I've heard him say that if you got a freshman and an upperclassman, they kind of on the same wavelength as far as talent, it's best to just go with the freshman because he got a higher ceiling than the upperclassman. So I just feel like, as a Georgia fan, if they would have let Justin Fields start for 3 years, just take the lumps and the bumps and the bruises, just take it all. But let him start for 3 years. I felt like out of 3 years, Georgia would have had at least one national championship in 3 years that Justin Fields been on. But I digressed. It's a whole nother topic. All right. Coming in at number 9, I was going to go with Carson Beck. 24-4 as a starter. But the fact that he transferred to Miami, he really can't make this list. He just can't. You feel what I'm saying? I was trying to give him his prop for being, the talent that he is, prototypical quarterback. Like I say, he had some bumps and bruises. His first year starting, that was when Georgia was trying to get the three-peat. I appreciated how he played. He put us in a position to do something that was historic. They won 13 games that year. Really, the injury bug bit us, but that's beside the point. I'm giving him his prop, but he can't necessarily make this list. So instead of Carson Beck, I'm going to go at number 9. I'm going to go with Buck Belue. I'm going to go with Buck Belue. Buck Belue was tough. Buck Belue got the natty. Back then, Georgia wasn't really a passing team like that. They really relied more on the run, but Buck Belue was a good game manager. And he showed up in some crucial moments for Georgia, like the 80-yard pass he hit Lindsey Scott with to beat Florida. So shout out to Buck Belue coming in at number 9. At number 8, I'm going Quincy Carter, man, number 17. Quincy Carter was, he was a sight to see for Georgia. Like, he was very exciting, It was just that with that team, when he was there, I don't think the coaching and the depth wasn't up to par compared to some of the other Georgia teams. He had some talent, but not enough to really compete on that real, mainstream level for a natty. So, but I still rock with Quincy Carter at number 8. And then at number 7, I got DJ Shockley. Yeah, DJ Shockley. DJ Shockley was the truth. A lot of people, including myself, felt like he should have started over David Green. But I give a shout out to Mark Richt, because Mark Richt recruited DJ Shockley since like the 9th or the 10th grade when he was in, I think, North Clayton. And he committed to come play for Mark Richt at Florida State. But of course, Mark Richt transferred and came to Georgia as the head coach. And Shockley came with him, so there's some loyalty on both ends there. And Mark Richt really, put him in a position to win the position from David Green. But you got to remember, DJ Shockley broke his leg. And then David Green continued, to carry that torch and played quite well, I may add. But at number 7, I got DJ Shockley, because he did indeed win us a SEC championship. And I think it was in 2005, he beat LSU. And he won a lot of games for us. So DJ Shockley, great dual threat quarterback. At number 6, I got Eric Zaire. Eric Zaire, he won the first Georgia quarterback to really just open that thing up when they started adding that thing out. So yeah, that was in like the early 90s or whatnot. But yeah, Eric Zaire, number 6. At number 5, you got the OG, man. You got that boy Fran Tarkenton, man. Now, personally, I never seen Fran Tarkenton play, but I'm just a football person, and ever since I've been trying to understand and learn about football, Fran Tarkenton always been a name of regard in football, mostly with the Minnesota Vikings, but at the same time, he did play at Georgia. He was real good at Georgia to get drafted to the pro to go. But I can't cap, I did not watch Fran Tarkenton play. But I can't disrespect him as an OG and put him down the list. He got to be top 5, dead or alive, man. Fran Tarkenton, man. So he kind of get like a little biasment right there. But shout out to boy OG Fran Tarkenton, number 5. At number 4, I got David Green. Yes, David Green, man. SEC champion. He did his thing. They went like 13-1. I think it was in 2002 when they won the SEC. He was really one play away from going undefeated that year. It really was they lost to Florida, but he put the ball in position for Terrence Everett to catch it, and I don't know what the hell happened. That's a whole nother story, but he played good enough to win the national championship that year. They went 13-1. I think back then they had the BCS, and they were probably like number 3 or some shit like that. But shout out that boy David Green. My best moment with David Green when they played Auburn. They was down. They was losing in the 4th. And it was 4th down. They was in the red zone. It was like the last play of the game. He got it. He in the shotgun. He looking. He throw that bitch to the back of the end zone. He catch that boy Michael Johnson in the back of the end zone on 4th down to beat Auburn. You know what I'm saying? Then, of course, him and Veron Hayes, they hit Tennessee across the head with the hobnail boot, beat them, you know what I'm saying, in Neyland. So, yeah, man, shout out David Green, man. He won them one. David Green, David Pollard, and Mark Richt, they got Georgia back going in the direction they needed to be going. But at number 3, I got Aaron Murray. And Murray gonna add that. By the time he left Georgia, he was all over the record book, from the UGA record book, the SEC record books. He was throwing it, you know what I'm saying? And he was winning a lot of games. Shout out Aaron Murray, number 11. And at number 2, but hold on, number 3, let me give Aaron Murray a little more prop, because he fell short from the SEC championship in 2012. That 2012 team was a special team, and it was like when they played Alabama for the SEC championship, I think they were like number 2 and number 3. The winner is going to the national championship to play Notre Dame. So really, whoever win this game, they go beat the shit out of Notre Dame. So this was really like an SEC championship / national championship. And it was like, he put them in a position to win on the come from behind. They got down in the red zone. It was just some fluke shit. Ball get batted, Crick Conley still catch it. Time run out. But really, he should have just batted it down and got another play. I feel like with another play, Aaron Murray would have knocked them 4 head off. But that's a whole nother subject, man. But shout out to Aaron Murray, number 3. At number 2, you got that boy Matt Stafford. Yeah, Matthew Stafford. You know, he number 1 on a lot of these folk lists for Georgia, but he number 2 for me. But I remember when they recruited Matt Stafford out of Texas, when he came in as a freshman, when I read up on him, they were like, yeah, he's such a talent. He's guaranteed to go number 1 in the NFL in 3 years. I'm like, damn. Like, and 3 years later after Georgia, he went number 1 overall for the NFL draft pick. But they said this when he came in as a freshman. They knew he was just this good, this prototypical with a big arm. And yeah, so he had a lot of success at Georgia. He wasn't able to, you know, win a natty or nothing like that. But he had some big wins. He had a top 5 finish, beat Florida that year. Then they beat the shit out of Hawaii in the Sugar Bowl. They ended up finishing like number 3. But they ended the year so hot. Him, Noshawn Marino, Muhammad Massaquoi, that whole team right there, to the point, and the defense was biting. If they would have had a playoff system, then nobody want to play Georgia. Because they were trending at the right time. They had got their shit together that year right there. They were ready for anybody. But yeah, man, shout out that boy Matt Stafford. Yeah, Matt Stafford. Number 2, all time for me. And number 1, you already know, man, that boy Stequavius Bennett, man. Stetson Bennett the 4th, you hear me? Yeah, Heisman finalist, 2-time national champion, and an MVP of both natties, both CLP games. What they wore, the Orange Bowl when they beat the shit out of Michigan, offensive MVP, and the Peach Bowl when they beat Ohio State, offensive game MVP. Yeah, that boy Stetson Bennett, man. And his story, from like real underdog story, man. I'm talking about Stetson Bennett with a walk-on. They gonna make a move by him. But like right now, he in the NFL behind Matt Stafford with the Rams. But Stetson Bennett, that's my all-time number 1 bulldog. Is able to get them over the hump. But for my number 1 of all time Georgia quarterback, it's gonna be that boy Stetson Bennett the 4th, man, out of Blackshear, Georgia, Pierce County, man. Shout out that boy Stetson Bennett. That concludes my top 10 on UGA quarterbacks all time. Jake Fromm at number 10, Buck Bellew number 9, Quincy Carter number 8, DJ Shockley number 7, Eric Zard number 6, Fran Tarkenton number 5, David Green number 4, Aaron Murray number 3, Matt Stafford number 2, Stetson Bennett number 1, man. Y'all jump in the comment section, let me know what y'all think about my list, and then put your own list at the bottom right there. I'm Sporty Black. I'm signing off. I'm grinding off. Go dogs.